cards, 3 copies of Virtual World Quaylun, 3 copies of Qinglong, 2 copies of Chuchi, and 1 copy of Zanwu. Again, extremely standard for Virtual World. There's not really much to talk about here. Some players will run 3 copies of Chuchi. I don't think that that's a terrible take, but I actually decided to drop one for the Zanwu because Zanwu actually does come up, especially in this build, because it is a discard and it's a recursion. Now, a lot of you guys are probably wondering why I'm emphasizing so much on the discard outlet. Well, the reason why is because we play a spicy tech in here, and it's 2 copies of Destiny Hero Malicious. Destiny Hero Malicious is a complete god card, but before I get into detail on why Malicious makes this deck just so much more dangerous, I have to give flowers to my man Ed. Some of you guys may not know him, some of you guys may know him, but Al Ed Inception is a fucking genius, guys. Or at least he's vague enough to be perceived as a genius. I'm actually friends with Al on Facebook, and he said Destiny Hero Malicious was ridiculous inside of this deck, and that's what got me thinking, what's so ridiculous about this card inside of this deck? He ain't give me any hints, I really didn't ask for none, I just put Destiny Hero Malicious in here, and boy, drawing this card is one of the most insane things inside of this deck, mainly because Virtual World Gate Zanwu and Virtual World Qinglong, a card that you can very easily get into, not only get this card in the graveyard, but allow you to summon another body 6 to your side of the field. The next thing about Destiny Hero Malicious inside of Virtual World is that Virtual World Nan Nan can actually shuffle in the Malicious, which means I can resolve Malicious more than once in a game. I can go Malicious for Malicious, banish Nan Nan, shuffle in Malicious, and since it's not even a once per turn, I can Malicious for Malicious again. This actually opens up the deck for so many more synchro combos, so many more Xyz plays. It's ridiculous inside of this deck. This is actually the reason why Malicious was semi-limited in the first place. It wasn't necessarily busted in Heroes, it was busted in other decks, and Virtual World takes full advantage of it. I swear from this day forward, I am on a quest to get the Black Hero card, either limited or unlimited. Free my niggas, it's 2021. Malicious, in my opinion, does make this deck pop, but if you guys don't like this card, you can completely cut it. This is a 42 card deck because 42 is better than 40, especially when you got 2 extra amazing cards to put in there, and Destiny Hero Malicious definitely fits that bill. Foolish Burial Goods alongside of Emergency Teleport was actually 3 copies of Ghost Bell. I did run 9 hand traps originally in this deck until I realized that Virtual World does brick. It's something that the deck has always had, and nothing's really changed about that. Also, Foolish Burial Goods would be better than Foolish Burial because not only does it allow me to play outside of Malicious, if I do have Malicious, it's another way to search Qinglong and get Malicious into my graveyard. At the very worst, I can make a Synchro 9. It also serves as an amazing extender, so don't judge me. It's not all about Malicious, my brother. Next is 3 copies of Pot of Desires. For some reason, there's still a debate on if Pot of Desires is a good or bad card. Statistically, it has been proven that Pot of Desires is a great card, and just because you had bad experiences or the only experiences you can remember with Pot of Desires is bad, doesn't mean that it's not a good card. Pot of Desires in this particular deck literally screams 2 free cards, and any card banished I can always put back into the deck with Nan Nan. And that's probably the reason why I really want to play 3 Nan Nans, because I really want to abuse that Pot of Desires in this deck is almost reinforcement of the army. Next, of course, your boy gotta play 3 copies of Triple Tactics Talent. This card is godly in here because this deck can draw a lot of cards, potentially draw into whatever you need through Desires, Triple Tactics Talent, Ravenous Croc. If you guys cannot afford Triple Tactics Talent, playing cards like Ghost Bella and Haunted Mansion would actually do really well for you, as having that extra source of disruption can probably play in the long game, disrupting your opponent so you can have extra turns. I decided to go with Talents because obviously I can afford it and it's the better card. Unfortunately, there's no substitute for Triple Tactics Talent, but yeah, at least you got Ghost Bells or other hand traps that you could play. 1 copy of Call by the Grave for being able to stop certain hand traps and cards. Moving on, for the hand traps, 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, and the Cyframe Gear Gamma package, another card that is completely free in Virtual World, because even if you do banish the driver with Desires, you can just shuffle it back in with Nan Nan. Also, if you activate Desires and your opponent ashes, you can punish them with Gamma, and then you kind of just win for free from there. Moving on to the extra deck, 1 copy of Divine Arsenal Doubly Zeus, 1 Gaia Thunder Charger, 1 Fan, 2 copies of Ptolemy M7. A lot of times I'll actually go into this card as part of my opening sequence, and then I can follow up with actually recurring important cards or getting rid of important cards on my opponent's side of the field or graveyard. Next is 1 copy of Utopia Beyond, 1 Phantom Knight's Breaksword, 1 Virtual World QB Shinshin. I was trying to play Mimi and Toto, but it didn't wind up to be able to foot the bill. That was good. Don't act like that wasn't good. A spicy tech of mine is Geomathmech Final Sigma. A lot of decks just can't deal with this card. 1 copy of Ravenous Crocosaurus, 1 copy of Vermilion Mech, 1 Coral Dragon, 1 Juju, and of course 1 Stardust Charge Warrior. Now, I would lie and say that this was the ultimate Virtual World extra deck. I really feel like you can change this extra deck depending on how you want. And I also want to mention that I cannot find my Beatrice Lady of the Eternal. It should 100% be in here. Beatrice Lady of the Eternal allows me to send cards from my deck to the graveyard. That's free. It also lets me know who skipped over the profile instead of actually listening to the video, because they'll be like, oh, there's only 14 cards in the extra deck. And it is amazing for sideboard, as I would play Necro World Banshee and Zombie World in the side, allowing you to have free access to Zombie World and completely disrupt some of those mono decks. There are, though, some alternative extra deck options if you guys fancy these. Crystal Phoenix is extremely hard to get into. If I remember correctly, you have to have a Coral Dragon and a Chewy on the field, as well as a Chuchi in graveyard. So you banish Chuchi, reduce the Juju, and then you synchro with the Coral Dragon to make Crystal Phoenix. If you can summon this card, you can auto win. And then of course, there is Dragulus. This card's actually extremely good as well. Some cards that I definitely considered playing, but I don't think that they come up enough to be able to merit them. And then of course, I feel like the only package that would be worth it. The reason why I would not, or I don't play these currently, is because it takes up 4 mandatory slots out of your extra deck. And what Virtual World is really good at is grinding and having versatility inside of the extra deck. I don't think that this is a bad package. Also, shout out to my man Sice for getting me that Crystal Wing. I appreciate you for the Ghost Rare. But again, I don't think that this is a bad package. It just takes up a lot of space, and I couldn't find 4 cards I would completely cut for this. But possibly you could find 4 cards that you would cut for this so you can play this package. One thing I would also like to mention is that Invoked Kaliga completely destroys Drytron. This is like impossible for them to get over. And also Red Eyes Dark Dragoon is cheeks. Like, it's not worth playing. Now, of course, I could make a video about how Red Eyes Dark Dragoon is not a good card, but you already know where we gonna go. I want you to destroy that subscribe button and post down below in the comment section that is something you want to see. Let's try to get this video to 1,500 likes and we'll make that video. That is it for the main board and the extra deck. Now I can show you how Virtual World works in this particular deck and some cool combos. All right, guys, so before we get into this super secret sexy combo, one thing I want to tell you is that first, I am streaming a claim sale on Twitch, so you might want to jump in if you want to get some good cards at great deals. The second, we will also be selling the CaliEffect merch, which is going to include the red and black CaliEffect shirt. This is amazing. I don't have a name for it quite yet, but you can cop this while supplies last. Just go ahead and add yourself to the Discord or join the Twitch stream that is happening at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. So I actually did another variation of this combo, which was in my last video. If you guys want to see that particular video that doesn't include Destiny or Malicious, it's still there. But in this particular combo, I'm going to show you guys the power and how much depth Destiny Hero Malicious can add to this particular strategy. So the main core component is Lily plus Quayloon, but I'm going to say my discard outlet is actually the Destiny Hero Malicious. So the first thing you do is you activate Quayloon to be able to place Zanwu into your spell and trap card zone, and then Kirin Lily to be able to send Quayloon, or Qinglong, I apologize, and also GG from your deck to your graveyard. From here, we'll go ahead and banish the Qinglong to be able to add Virtual World Mayhem Lulu from our decks to our hand, and then we'll discard Destiny Hero Malicious. This card will be an integral piece for later turns. After that, we are going to go ahead and activate Virtual World Mayhem Lulu. With that, we'll actually target the Lily, sending Zanwu to the graveyard, and then adding Virtual World Roshi Lao Lao. Here's where it gets really, really interesting, as now we can use the effect of Lao Lao targeting Chuchi. We will send from our decks to our graveyard Virtual World Mayhem, Virtual World Nan Yan, and then we will be able to special summon that GG back to our side of the field. Then we'll trigger Nan Nan's effect to special summon itself to the side of the field as a tuner. So currently the board is all filled up with crazy monsters on our side of the field. It's time for us to start making plays that will be beneficial to us. I'm going to go ahead and synchro with the Mayhem Lulu and the Virtual World GG. We'll synchro summon into a Stardust Charge Warrior. We will draw one card. That'll bring us 3 cards into our hand. And then we're going to activate the effect of Destiny Hero Malicious. We'll banish Destiny Hero Malicious to be able to special summon a second copy from our decks to our side of the field. And then we'll synchro summon with the Nan Nan and the Destiny Hero Malicious into Ravenous Crocosaurus. Now, Crocosaurus was used for a synchro summon of 1, so we'll draw another card, and then we'll trigger the effect of Virtual World Nan Nan to be able to shuffle in Destiny Hero Malicious with Nan Nan's effect. We'll then be able to follow up by using Malicious's effect again, banishing itself to special summon another copy to our side of the field, and now we'll Exceed Summon with Kieran Lily and our Destiny Hero Malicious. We'll Exceed Summon into Ptolemy M7. Use the effect of Ptolemy M7 detaching, it really doesn't matter. I'll detach the Lily to be able to add GG from my deck to my hand. And if I could end right here, I can actually use the effect of GG. We are going to send from our decks to the graveyard Nan Nan by targeting Chuchi, summon GG to our side of the field, and then we will synchro summon with Lao Lao and GG to Virtual World Cube Ascension. So this board is going to look extremely similar to the board that we did, but we can actually even take it a step further. This is where I actually wanted to run the other Exceed monster and Draculus, and if you guys are playing the Zolkin package, that was very possible inside of this particular play sequence if you decided to do that. This time around, I'm actually going to use Zanwu in my graveyard. I'm going to go ahead and banish it to be able to special summon to my side of the field Virtual World Lao Lao to my side of the field. Then I will discard a card. And then from here, Lao Lao and our Stardust Charge Warrior can be used for a synchro or an Exceed summon or sending to the graveyard for Ultimate Zolkin. It really all depends on what you want to do into Geomathmech Final Sigma. So in this particular sequence, on the end phase, I will gain the effect of Virtual World GG to add Lao Lao to my hand. I have a disruption through Animadorn Crocosaur. Discarding 2 cards really isn't a problem with this particular deck, mainly because I have Lulu to be able to follow up. I also have Virtual World Gate Chuchi to be able to disrupt, again and shuffle cards back into my deck. Final Sigma is a very hard threat for my opponent to out, but again, this card could be, if you so choose, Beatrice, Lady of the Eternal, to send Zombie World from our deck to the graveyard so we can Zombie World lock our opponent, or to be able to have great follow-up, or even Draculus to our side of the field to be able to disrupt again. And we also have Virtual World QB Shinshin in our hand. So this is a very, very dangerous board that Virtual World can do. And it's so amazing that it happens, or it's extended by Destiny Hero Malicious. Alright guys, so it is about to get very ridiculous with this combo sequence. Of course, we're going to put Lulu, GG, and Malicious in our hand. And then of course, we're going to have 2 additional cards for our starting 5. What I'm going to do is normal summon GG, then activate Lulu targeting GG. I'll be able to send Zanwu from my deck to my graveyard, and then I'll add Quailun from my deck to my hand. From here, I'm going to go ahead and synchro summon with both Lulu and my GG. We will synchro summon into a Stardust Charge Warrior, which will allow us to draw an additional card. From here, I'll go ahead and use Zanwu, banishing it from the graveyard to be able to special summon my Lulu, and then discard Destiny Hero Malicious. I'll now be able to use Destiny Hero Malicious' effect. We will banish Malicious to special summon another Malicious to our side of the field, and we still are not done. I will use Destiny Hero Malicious and Stardust Charge Warrior for Constellar Ptolemy M7, detaching the Destiny Hero Malicious to add GG from my graveyard to my hand. Keep in mind that my hand is 5 Yu-Gi-Oh cards right now, and I have 2 monsters on the field. I'll now activate GG's effect. With GG, we will finally send our Qinglong from the deck to the graveyard to special summon GG to our side of the field. Use the effect of Qinglong banishing itself to be able to add Roshi, Lao Lao, and discard one of those cards that you drew. And then synchro summon with Lulu and GG into Juju. Now we are going to use Virtual World City Quailun. We'll actually be able to place to our side of the field. Where'd it go? Is it? It's one of the blank cards. place the Chu-Chi to your side of the field as a trap card, and now you can use the effect of Roshi Lao Lao, targeting the Chu-Chi to send the Nan Yan to the graveyard, special summoning your Lulu from your graveyard to your side of the field, and then trigger the effect of your Nan Yan to special summon itself to the side of the field. Nan Nan plus Juju will be used for a synchro summon. Go ahead and banish that Nan Nan because it was special summoned via its effect for a Ravenous Crocosaurus. Proceed to draw another additional Yu-Gi-Oh card and trigger the effect of your Nan Nan to shuffle Malicious back into your deck. You won't believe what's going to happen here, as now we'll banish Destiny Hero Malicious to special summon Destiny Hero Malicious, and of course we have multiple options. We could, in theory, special summon Ultimate Azulkin and set a card face down to special summon Crystal Wing, or we can even go into one of the cards that I think is pretty good into the Final Sigma. But I think the best possible play would actually be using the Lulu and the Malicious for a synchro summon for your Virtual World QB Senshin. During the end phase, since you did use Gigi, you can add the Lulu back into your hand, and this is basically what your hand looks like. You still have 4 cards in your hand. You have Virtual World Chu-Chi to be able to destroy a card on the field. You also have Ravenous Crocosaurus that could give up 2 cards. Keep in mind, it does seem like a steep cost, but it really isn't. And then if Constellar Ptolemy M7 does stay on the field, well, that's another recursion as well. As you guys can see, Destiny Hero Malicious adds another spin to Virtual World. I'm excited to see what you guys think about this, and more importantly, how much success you've had with testing Destiny Hero Malicious inside of Virtual World. Now again, this is coming from the guy that actually teched Eldritch the Golden Lord inside of Virtual World. I think that Ed came up with an amazing idea of Destiny Hero Malicious. I'm not 100% sure if he thought of it this way, but if this is what he's thinking, that man is big brain. Of course, if you want to check out more CaliEffect content like Virtual World in action, go ahead and check out this video, or if you want to see just more amazing content, check out this one. But regardless, I know I'll catch you on the next one.